All right, and we are back, continuing on with our first trip to the Hearthstone arena. Very exciting. We're 2-2 right now, running a Hunter deck, mostly because that's the one I'm most familiar with. Likes to do some direct damage sort of stuff. I might be a little bit too heavy on that, might be a little not enough in the creature department, but we'll go ahead and queue up because you never know how long this is going to take. Actually, it's been really good. There seems to be a lot of people playing this game, despite the fact that the closed beta invites are still kind of, hard to come by. So, I do not have any keys. Don't ask me for any. And if I did, I'm pretty sure there's a list of people that I would be giving them to first. Take that. That's not directed at anyone specifically in the chat. There might be someone in the chat that would be deserving of one. Boy, this is tough. Questing Adventure is nice, but it's nicer in later game. The early taunt, the enrage is largely forgettable, but the early taunt might be helpful. And I think I'd like a turn 1 and 2 play if at all possible. So we got Explosive Trap, which is obviously better the more enemies there are out there. We're going up against Arenicus. I'm going to say Greetings, because why not? So this would be largely wasted, but I want to get a creature out there. So his Battle Cry is virtually worthless. That's a card that basically has two uses. Either it could be used late game for a quick buff, or, early game like this where I'm just trying to establish a little bit of board control. And not that I'm really going to control anything with this, but hey, maybe it's good to take out his early card play. So I'd be totally okay with trading creatures, which I'm not going to have to do. My two choices are basically Explosive Trap or Hero Power, so I'm going to Hero Power and do 4 damage right off the bat. Every little bit helps, but, you see, if you've been watching the stream up until now, you can see how quickly it can turn around and right in your face, so. Okay, so what is this that he... Whenever you cast a spell, gain 2+2 attack this turn. It doesn't really... So, the likelihood of him going above 3/3 is pretty slim. So, we'll play our taunt out there. And then, hit him for another 2. Do I want to reduce that? So it's an easy kill. I think I'm going to save that. That Hunter's Mark is so tempting to hold on to for a long time so that you can just peck at somebody to kill, some mammoth creature, but that's not always possible. Okay, so this is another one of those. Okay, coin evidently counts as a spell. Now we are looking like Explosive Trap might be... after you summon a minion, deal 1 damage. Okay. Now Explosive Trap is looking like it might be a better idea than it was before, especially considering that he's got a couple 2 damage creatures out there. Or 2 health creatures. And that's good enough to let us Hero Power too, so we're going to cast that. And then hit him for damage that we can while we can. And this Abusive Sergeant is turning out to be a much... getting a lot of damage out of a 1-mana card, so I'm totally okay with that. I'm up by 10 on his life right now, but that can quickly change, so... Okay, there we go. I'm alright with that. That's going to take out all but one of his creatures, as well as... do 2 damage to him, so that is a fair trade in my book. I'm hoping that my early game Hunter is going to give him a little bit of hassle. Question is am I going to be able to keep up this momentum? So we have 5 mana. I think what we want to do is bring out the Eagle Horn Bow. And I think I'm going to attack him directly with it. mostly just because we can also play Explosive Trap. Eagle, the weapons are in a lot of ways are good for board control, but as of right now, an attack out of him will clear the board and do 2 damage to him. So I'm going to keep this initiative rolling, and hopefully that'll really help out. Yep. And he was smart that time to not summon something ahead, but I do have some options for dealing with a creature that he puts out, specifically Hunter's Mark. If he ends up using his full 5 mana for it, which he did. He's got a direct 3 damage. It would be nice. You know what? Rather than Hunter's Mark, I think we're just going to kill that minion. Keep the train a-rolling on the pecking damage at him. Why not? Seems to be doing me a pretty good job so far, so we'll tack on another 5 damage. And I'm hoping that I've just pecked him to the point where this is just getting to be out of control for him. If he does not play... Oh, no, I need 1 more mana in order to make that statement. Never mind. I do have some options for some quick stuff, though. And I am really happy that I held on to that Hunter's Mark, because it's going to play really well into what I'm about to do. I've got a charge with Divine Shield, so what I'm going to do here, drop him down to 1. 1 health. If I were to attack him with my guy, he would... I would take the 6 damage, so I don't really particularly want to do that. So instead, I'm going to bring out this guy that's got charge, so he can attack right off the bat. Divine Shield's going to keep him from taking damage, and I'm going to get the concede. Wow, that was the most runaway game I've ever had of this. Certainly runaway in my favor, which is not normally the case. And it looks like I've completed another quest, so I'm going to earn another 40 gold from that. So that's pretty exciting. We cannot do any worse than 50-50 with this, so I am very happy with my initial showing. We're doing well, so let's just keep the ball rolling. I apologize. I needed sustenance. All this talking is making me parched. Wow, I did not suspect that the start of this was gonna, or my first trip into the arena was gonna do this well. I fully expected to go 0-3, so this is good stuff. Good stuff. I actually really like all 3 of these cards for early game, but I think I'm gonna get rid of the 4 mana. Maybe I could pull out another one of those. Well, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. It's more useful later on. Oh, and I draw a 7 mana card. That's not necessarily the best, but what can you do? So yeah, this does not quite... Oh, it's got a taunt right off the bat. That's kind of annoying. Well, I can silence that minion, which would turn him into a 1/3 regular creature, which makes him less... But that's really only buying me 1 damage from my Argent Squire. Not sure what to do there. The other option is I could, of course, Hunter's Mark him. Yeah, we're going to do that, because then we can take out his creature. Only spending my Divine Shield, and I can peck him with my hero power, which is, again, enabling me to have more options in my hand, and seem to be the most cost-effective way to kill him and do some damage. And that is a annoying creature, but it doesn't matter so much because we're going to kill him with our Eaglehorn Bow. The reason why I'm okay killing this taunt creature is if I didn't kill him, he would just attack me with him anyway, so this does not give him the opportunity to do more than a single round's worth of damage. I must have missed this. Is this a warlock? Yeah, it's a warlock. Their hero power is to take 2 damage to draw a card. It's actually, that's a very appealing ability to me. So I approve. I kind of want to hold on to the silence, so I might just hero power, take out his novice engineer. I only have one more use of my bow though. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Clear the board, do 3 damage, and I'm not spending any of the cards out of my hand. And that silence, for 2 mana, I really get the feeling like that's going to be largely helpful later on. And I got some end turn or later game plays already in my hand, so in the next coming turns, I got a 5, 6, 7 if I want. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Gain 1 health for each card in your hand. Well, that's super annoying. Oh, goody, an explosive trap. I like that. So the silence would do nothing to that because that's a battle cry. Could do explosive shot to take him out. We could set up an explosive trap, which is not going to kill him. I get the feeling like I'm going to take 4 damage on the chin no matter what. So, oh boy, what to do? I guess you know what? I guess we're gonna trade creatures here.
I fight.
That was awfully expensive for me to do that, but I feel like that's I probably wasted some of the damage of that. Explosive shot, was that what it was called? I forget, whatever. I feel like that was maybe a little bit of a waste, but it's battle cry, so again, silence does no good. So I think we'll just put out our beefy creature and make him deal with that. I probably wasted some damage with that card. Might have been a misplay there, but I felt like I didn't have much else to do, and the last thing I wanted to do was do nothing and leave that 4/6 creature out there, so. Ouch. Ouch. Whenever a minion dies, gain 1 attack. Okay. So, what can we do here? I really like our 7/5 stealth. Makes him harder to deal with. I think we... But at the same time, I could get a taunt, an explosive trap, and do my hero power. So I think I'm going to go for the lots of littles. Last thing we want is this guy. Oh, boy. I had two 2/2 hyenas, but man, am I tempted to just go straight for the jugular on this. I think I'm going to do that. It might be ill-advised. I don't know. We'll see. But the ability to do 8 damage in a turn is an appealing one to me. Also, I think we're going to Hunter's Mark this guy, because if he does get through and attack me, then I'm guaranteed to kill that creature off before he gets buffed out of control. But he's got to deal with my taunt creature first. Not in the case of the silence, though. Deal 2 damage, restore 2 health. Okay. So, yep, I'm going to do a good job of clearing a lot of the board with that one. Not all of it, obviously. But we've got another taunt option coming up here. Which allows us to hero power and hit him for another 8 damage again. So, yeah, I think we're going to do that. This might be ill-advised, too. And I think... well, we're going to hero power for sure. The question is, do I want to bring out another creature that could do potential damage? No, I still think I'm going to wait on that, because if he plays a taunt or something like that, I can use that to get rid of it. And next turn we'll be able to play both these creatures if need be. But now he's come to the point where he needs to deal with this 6/5 creature in some way or another, and my taunts are making that more difficult for him. So that's a little annoying. But we actually have an answer for that, I guess. So we've got our stealth that we'll bring out.
I hear you got a problem.
And then we also have our ability to silence a minion. We're going to silence this 4/1, so he no longer has taunt. We'll kill this one off to get rid of the taunt, and then bust him for another 6 in the jugular. And now he really has to do something about some of these creatures. He has to have some sort of direct damage spell or silence or something to get rid of my Ravenhold assassin here. So I'm kind of liking the way this looks, but who knows? I'm still unfamiliar enough with the game that this could go any number of ways, and I won't even know. So now he's playing out of desperation. He knows that he's taunt and death rattle. So, but all I need to do is get rid of that taunt right now. He's out of mana. So, I suppose, well, no, he can start dealing with my creatures, at least the 6/5. But, yeah, and if he kills off the 2/1, yeah, that's totally a viable option. Depends. Oh, man, I could get super lucky here. Man, I hate to do this, but we'll see what happens. Oh, my God. I have to apologize for that. That's crap, dude. That's lucky top deck, lucky roll on that. I mean, I still feel like I was in a definitive lead there, but I do feel bad about getting lucky with a random. I hope you didn't take that as being like, well, sorry, I just handed you your shit, but because I really did not mean it that way. But when chat options are so limited, what can you do? You know, you gotta do things the best you can in terms of politeness. I believe in polite gaming, so especially when it comes to board and card games, I feel like that's an important thing. So I care, man.
I will fight with honor.
I should hope you'll fight with honor. Okay, so I'm gonna go second here, but I'm not really a fan of these for opening hands, so see what else we can get. I'm not so sure that that's a ton better, but going second allows me to get the coin, so I mean I could theoretically get to my Savannah High main a little faster, you know, down the road, turn 5. That's a possibility. 6/5 with a death rattle to bring out a couple of things, that's pretty potent. So he's got no play for me off the bat. I might as well bring my abusive sergeant out. That seemed to do a hell of a lot of good before, so I can certainly hero power this next turn unless he comes up with a taunt. Again, we're starting down that 4 damage route. I would imagine that he's going to use that to kill my guy. I'm going to hold off on that explosive trap because I really don't want to waste it against his hero-powered creatures. So, boy, this is shaping up to look very similar to a previous game. But I'll take the easy 4. I have to imagine he's going to trade Silverhand Recruit for Abusive Sergeant. If he attacks me directly without buffing that in some sort of way, that's just silly play. So, yeah. So, Enrage, Wind Fury. Okay, so he doesn't have Wind Fury to begin with. Otherwise, he's just a 3 damaging... 3 mana, 3 damaging, you know, so... I think I'm alright with a Deadly Shot here, judging by what else is in my hand. Although that wouldn't leave me with being able to do anything this turn. I'd never like that, man. I always want to do something. Let's see here. Boy, I don't know. I could... I got a couple of options, I guess. I could... Yeah, you know what? I'll play around a little bit. I don't think this is technically damage. I don't think he's technically enraged. I don't know, I guess. So, in order to make sure that we deal with that, I guess we'll do that. And yeah, we'll end our turn with that, I guess. I felt like a really weird turn. But, I mean, I'm obviously baiting an attack here. Maybe he's novice like me and he'll play a creature before he attacks, which would be, just super from my point of view, but I don't know if he would necessarily do that. Oh, he's got a secret of his own. Don't know what that is, but this will be good enough to clear the board, do 2 damage to him. Oh, and it's going to proc the secret. When one of your minions dies, return it to life with 1 health. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so now he definitely has the Wind Fury, which means I have to do something about him this turn. Okay. Then, boy. What to do to deal with that? I suppose we could silence him, which would get rid of the Wind Fury. In theory, drop him down to 3 attack. I still have coins, so... that's enough for 5 mana, so I could bring out a weapon then as well. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see how that works out. Or Freezing Trap. That doesn't seem worthwhile to me. So we'll coin and get our Eagle Horn Bow. And then we will use that to make sure... There. It clears out 1 guy. Both of these have 1 health left, so that gives us a little bit of breathing room. Certainly makes this 2/1 creature more worthwhile. Of course, he'll just trade. Yeah, he'll trade his 1/1 for it. Do 3 damage, but at least he's not doing 6, because that's what it would have been with that ridiculousness that was the last turn. Oh, so we got another explosive trap, which I don't think really does us any good right now. Actually, it does. We'll play that. We will attack the Yeti, which means that if he attacks, he is going to need to heal that character first, and then I guess we'll hero power. So either of these guys will clear the board attacking before... And like I said, unless he's got a heal, we'll clear the board before he can do any damage to me. I don't know, though. Now, in theory, the way that they say you play an arena is as you win more, you start being faced against other people that have won more. So, in theory, the play out of the opponent should be improving over the course of the game. That is super annoying. Minion Divine Shield. Ooh, that's super annoying too. Well, that gets rid of that Divine Shield, which means he's still going to hit me for 4 damage. That is super unfortunate.
Justice demands retribution.
I'll give him a well played. He kind of sounds like a prick to me, but whatever.
Thank you.
I'll be nice. Yeah, yes. Hello. Let's see here. I think this is the only way that I can survive a turn. I need to kill... yeah. I am gonna eat it in the chin on this one, I'm pretty sure. Unless he's got I mean, I've got a couple like final play kind of things, but this does not bode well for me. That is an amazing weapon. I think that's Paladin only, but gain 2 life and do 4 damage. That's pretty damn nice. It's a nice weapon. Okay, so let's see here. We have 7 mana, so I can only play 2 of these cards. Or I could do Freezing Trap. Well, my hero power doesn't really make any sense at this juncture, so how do I live another turn? Boy, I don't know. I think it's got to be Deadly Shot and Freezing Trap. That will... Unless he's got a hero with charge, that's about as good as it's going to get. He can still attack me directly with his weapon, but that's not enough damage to kill unless he's got some way to buff it. So, yeah, we'll lay Freezing Trap out there, which will send the minion back to his hand. It buys me another turn. I don't know if that's going to be good enough. Thankfully, he only has 1 durability left on his weapon, so he can only attack me once with that weapon. No, I'm sorry, end turn. So yeah, this might be the end of our arena trip, and therefore also the end of my night. Well, that's kind of what I expected, but that's really all that's doing is buying me time. And I don't think I have anything in the deck that is going to somehow make me do 18 damage before he does 2. I think that's a losing proposition. Oh, yeah, now most definitely.
Well played.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm going to give it to you. Anything else is just wasting your time. So
Well played.
and with that, I will bow out of my first trip to the arena. So not so bad. I'm pretty happy with the end result of this. I did not expect to do as well as I did. Certainly not 4 and 3. So that's pretty exciting. We're gonna get our rewards now. And yeah, we'll see what we got. Okay, so we got... Oh, was that rare? I'm not quite familiar. Or maybe common. I don't remember. I'm not quite familiar with the colors yet, but got a card, pack of cards, 15 dust, which I think is used for crafting cards. I've yet to do that. Venture Company Mercenary, and some more dust. So, okay. That's super exciting. I didn't get any gold. That's super annoying. But hey, I at least earned it through the quests of the day. I can certainly buy into the arena again, which I will definitely do. No more quests today. Check back tomorrow. I think that's what we'll be doing. But hey, for the fun of it, we'll open the pack while you guys are hanging out in the stream. Little pro tip for you guys: as you hover over these things, they will have the shade of color behind them. That's their rarity, so you can kind of know which one's the rare one before you get to it. So we're going to leave that one for last. Fen Creeper, 3/6 taunt creature. I like that card a lot. Another Deadly Shot. I have at least one of those, maybe more already. Betrayal, an enemy minion deals its damage to the minions next to it. Oh, that could be totally badass for 2 damage in the right kind of situation. Definitely situational. I have not played much as the rogue, if at all. Maybe not at all. I don't remember. And then the Loot Hoarder, 2/1 Death Rattle, draw a card. I guess as an early play, that's kind of nice. It's kind of a free card. Maybe you get some damage on it. Not so bad. So let's see what the rare one is. Akanai Soul Priest. Your cards and powers that restore health now deal damage instead. Interesting. That's kind of a interesting twist on a Dark Priest sort of thing. So I think with that, I'm going to call it a night, though. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'll put these up on YouTube tomorrow if you want to see the trip, minus the first game. And then, yeah, I'll probably do this again. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.